Winning a woman's heart is no easy feat. Some of us who try end up with skid marks in our underpants at a Deftones concert. But I can promise you there is one tactic that will never work. Stalking. And also, breaking into their home.
It's a terrifying home invasion. A man with a flashlight enters a single mom's house and ends up caught on her security camera. And when she looked at the video, she knew who it was right away.
You read the title of the video, so you also know who it was. We don't need Scooby-Doo to piece this mystery together for us. It was the pastor of a megachurch. And now, the reason he's done this isn't because he smelt like an apple pie on the windowsill and he couldn't resist going in there to get a piece of it. He did it because he is obsessed with this woman. He is more obsessed with her than I am with Magic the Gathering cards.
Here's why.
It's terrifying. A man caught on security tape breaking into a home. What made this even more shocking is the identity of the intruder. It was 43-year-old Marie Columna's pastor. There he was in her kitchen, clearly identifiable.
I love the voiceover guy for this. He sounds like the narrator from all of the old As Seen on TV commercials. Can your paper clips do this? And it's footage of it holding like 2 cucumbers together. Forget everything you thought you knew about mops. If your mop isn't sucking your dick, it's not working for you. This new mop is minted on the blockchain. That kind of thing. But anyway, so this is her pastor. And they've known each other for a while. This is not the first time he's done it, and it's not the only time you're about to see him do it. And you can see how confident he is. He goes in there not wearing a mask. He's not trying to hide it all. This fucking creep even hits a blue steel into the camera. He is immediately aware that he's being recorded. It doesn't bother him at all. It also seemed remarkably easy for him to break into the home. I'm assuming the door was accidentally unlocked. Either that or he has maxed out his lockpicking stat. Because that is impressive speed.
To anyone.
When you follow God's vision.
And it's not just any church. 49-year-old Sergio Guardia was a pastor at a mega church, the 24,000-member Thomas Road Baptist Church in Lynchburg, Virginia. Maria and her husband were very close with the pastor and his wife, as seen in this photo.
Now I know what you're thinking, Charles. We can't jump the gun here. You can't put the carriage before the horse. Maybe it's all a big misunderstanding. Maybe Sergio was doing a house call in order to exorcise some demons, combat the forces of evil late at night. And that's where he'd be wrong. The only thing Sergio was looking to exorcise was a nut from his sack.
What was Pastor Guardia like?
Very charismatic, extremely nice.
But after she divorced her husband, Marie says the pastor's behavior became increasingly odd.
He started just showing up to my house. My kids wouldn't be home. It'd be in the middle of the day. And he would just show up and bring me groceries. He did that a handful of times. Sometimes I would get home and he'd be right on my porch. So I couldn't even avoid him.
That thought process will never compute with me. She's made it clear that she's not interested in that kind of relationship with him, yet he keeps showing up at her house with, I guess, a fucking box of chocolates. He shows up with groceries too, and he lingers. Like, what could he possibly have thought would happen? If I pester her enough, if I'm enough of a nuisance, eventually she'll fall in love. She'll realize I'm the perfect man for her. Like, how does someone get to that level of poison in their brain?
Lo and behold, he came back the next day.
I was watching the live feed of him entering my daughter's bedroom.
She called the cops, and you can see them with guns drawn.
Goober said that was so good I think I'll try it a second time. So he comes in the following night doing the same thing, breaking into her home. And remember, he left the first time because he noticed he was being recorded. What did he think changed? That this time the fucking camera magically got turned off? Like, what did he do? Did he, like, deploy an EMP in his car thinking it knocked out all the electronics in the area, so he thought he just had the green light to go? That all of a sudden now there wouldn't be any footage of him breaking into the home? It's fucking craziness.
They even use a police dog in their search, but the pastor had already fled. Guardia was charged with burglary and stalking.
Guardia has been found guilty, and a senior pastor confirms he's no longer employed by the mega church.
I was really curious if Sergio himself had said anything about this, trying to offer some kind of excuse or justification for it. No, you see, in the good book, there was a statement I read that said, I can go break into her house. and conduct a panty raid while she's away huffing her britches. But I haven't seen anything from him. However, I did get a little bit more insight on how much he had been doing to torment this woman, basically. So he had confessed his feelings for her. He told me he was in love with me and wanted a relationship. I said I didn't even want him at my house, let alone a relationship. I told him not to come back, but he did. She apparently moved multiple times in an attempt to get away from him. So she uprooted her life multiple times just to avoid this guy. Yet he continued stalking her and showing up, leading to, of course, the most recent stuff here. Just listen to how unhinged this man is. I came home in the middle of the day and found him in my living room on my laptop. When I confronted him, he gaslit me, saying he wasn't doing anything wrong and acted excited to see me. He wouldn't leave until I picked up my phone and said I was calling the police. What the fuck? Imagine that, you're just coming home and then all of a sudden Goofball there starts like going crazy with the zoomies like a dog happy to see you. Like, hey, welcome back. I was just on your laptop downloading some of my best selfies to make it your screensaver and your backgrounds. Did you want some groceries? I put them in the fridge, nice and fresh. What do you mean you're calling the police? Are you my girlfriend yet? She also mentioned why she never went to authorities prior to this, stating that she was just kind of afraid of his influence. He's not just a pastor, he's a pastor at Thomas Road Baptist Church, a powerful and wealthy church. I didn't believe I had any power against him, especially with no evidence. And she also mentions that she was getting notifications that a new device had logged into her Yahoo email, checked the IP, and they were linked to Liberty University. Turns out that email was listed as a recovery email for her accounts, and there's a lot of reason to believe that that is Sergio. So he was actually in the fucking mainframe of her life, like snooping, hacking her accounts, and stalking her aggressively. Now, she also mentioned something that I was going to bring up as well. She wanted her story to reach his supporters. So even though all of this has gone down, even though he has been found guilty on all 3 counts, and even though he has been removed from his position at the megachurch, he still does have people supporting him. You can literally watch the footage yourself, see the verdict, and yet people are just like, nah, nope, oh well, everybody sins. It's absurd. Of course, that's not the majority of people. Most sane people are seeing this and being like, oh shit, turns out the pastor was a wolf in sheep's clothing, he was a bad guy. But there are, of course, some people that are just completely delusional about it and writing it off entirely and standing behind Sergio. It's so sad. It's scary, actually. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about this a bit. That's it. See ya.